Hello and welcome along and welcome back to No Man's Land. It is the 3rd day of December and we have one final job to do on our farms to get our fields ready for next year. We need to get the stones picked. So we're going to take the stone picker here and head out to the field. We know that all of our bales are now fully fermented and ready to go. Our fields are looking pretty good, and we do have a section in the middle of that one which could do with some extra fertilizer, and maybe if we have a little bit of money to spare, we might just throw that on there. But yeah, we need to get these stones and rocks picked up from this field and the two other fields first. So let's start her up. Drop her down, and away we go. Now, yeah, these are going to make us a bit of money because obviously we're looking to get a stone picker and, we're looking to get a lime production facility so that we can then lime these fields come February before we start replanting them in March. And so, yeah, this is going to actually be a fairly good little money earner getting all of these off here. We've only got 41 litres so far, and it's probably going to take us a little while to go round these fields and get all of these. But, yeah, it is going to be well worth it. And as we're sticking with the plough for our equipment or for preparing fields between harvests, because that will stop us getting any weeds. We're going to be doing this on a fairly regular basis, and as a result, earning ourselves a pretty good whack of money each year just from collecting stones from our fields, which is why we got this piece of equipment in the first place and kind of went down this road, just trying to maximize how much our farm is worth. Missed a few at the edge there. And yeah, it means we won't have to worry about dealing with any weeds on our farm either. So I've gone around the field 3 times. This is our 3rd little run down this side here, and it's got this this dog leg here all cleaned up. So what we can do now is start going a little bit more along the furrows that we've got on the field here. We've not had a huge amount of stones off here yet. We're at 371 litres of stone, which isn't a massive amount, but it is a start. We should get, at the rate the factory or the production facility works at the moment, that will give us over 1,000 litres of lime. So it's actually pretty good. Plus the stones that we've already picked up off the 2 fields that we've already done, and of course we've got 2 more fields after this to do as well. Let's back this up to here. It's really interesting. This field here is so much in shadow because of these trees. I'm still considering removing that end tree there. We might do that. So the one in the middle of my window right now, that one I think can go because it will just take this weird curve that we've got out the field. Does mean that we're going to have to get the plough out and clear it up afterwards, but I think that is going to be the way to go with this. And hopefully we'll be able to get to that today. I am kind of going around on a 4th headland on this, but it seems to be the easier way to run it by the looks of things. And we do have a fair amount of stones in the middle of this bit of field here. There we go. So yeah, this field is running fairly well. It's not massively stony, but it is getting nicely picked up and nicely prepared for a bit of grass to be planted here come the new year. Almost there. Our centre bit of the field now is just diminishing as we go through and pick up all of these stones off it. This will now nicely be prepared for us to plant onto. Now we could go over it with the roller and create a seed bed, and we kind of do have time for that. I want to get the rest of this job and the rest of this work out of the way first, though. I don't think having a seed bed actually makes much difference compared to rolling it after we plant. So we'll probably do the rolling after we plant, and then once we've got the springtime cut out of the way, what we'll be able to do on here is then get a grass roller to finish everything off. I think, yeah, this field is such an odd shape, and that's why I've not done it as an arable field. It's actually a comparable size to our other fields, especially if we get that tree out at that point where it sort of goes up and back, where we have that bump in it. But it is, it's just this large rock is in the way, and there's lots of bits that make it a harder field for us to work with machinery. So we're just gonna grass this. We might put some fencing in, maybe, just to sort of cordon it off a little bit, make it a little bit more obvious as a grass field. But in general, I think it's probably going to get it left pretty much as it is. So we'll bring that down here, and that finishes off this field. There we go. So 27% off our first field today, which is great. And then on to our other two. Now, I did take a few comments last time about my pronouncement or pronunciation of sorghum. Yeah, I think I called it soygum a few times, and apologies for that, everybody. I of course know it's sorghum and not soygum. I think I was trying to say soybeans and got a little bit confused. But anyway, we're going to be putting, as I said, sorghum in these two fields and try and earn a bit of money out of them. That way, it's the best crop for us to put in here, I think. We're too late to plant canola or wheat or barley or any of those. Soybeans will just be ready too late. And so sorghum is a much better crop for us to put in here and make a bit of cash from. That's struggling a little bit up this hill. This is why we are doing these fields crossways pretty much all the time for most work, simply because this little tractor is great, but when you put something on it that requires a little bit more horsepower, I mean, this is a 100 horsepower piece of equipment on a 95 horsepower tractor. So going up the hill, it has a little bit of trouble with it. Not far enough over to the edge. I was fearing that. So yeah, it does struggle a little bit when we're doing that. Did that get it? That got it. Good. And so yeah, it's gonna struggle a little bit when we get it on a job that's pushing it a bit much. Oh wow, we are right at the corner there. Are you gonna let me get those stones? We are not. Oh no, did it? It did. It got them. Fantastic. Yes, sorghum is going to be the better crop for us to get on here that we can do with a single harvester based on what we're looking at. So that's all good. Speaking of which, before we go any further, what is in the shop today? We've still got that really nice case in here for 39,000. Yeah, nothing else, thankfully. The only thing I'm looking out for is something like a combine. If a combine harvester comes out, or a large bale trailer, something like that, I think that is going to be something we jump on because we need that. Otherwise, it's just going to be a case of just keeping an eye on the shop over the next month when there's downtime on the farm, once these fields are prepared, and going from there. So Let's continue on this field and see where we are with our stone collection by the end of it. So we've been around the field 3 times. And that has covered us about as much as the headland did before. So I'm going to do this slightly differently and try and follow the line of the plough furrows here. We should be straight across the field, like so. And hopefully then we can just open things up on each run and keep things nice and straight. And running fairly well. It does run really well on the back of this, despite the slight power issue. It doesn't really have that much of a problem. Let's turn this around and take ourselves out here. Yeah, and then line it up, drop it down again, and you should be good. Yep, along this line here. Perfect. I'm happy. We are up to 45% full after the headlands, so that is quite interesting. It's quite a stonier setup on here. Plus, well, it's not really a bigger field. I don't think it has a bigger perimeter or anything, but it does seem to have had more stones to begin with. So yeah, not really sure what's causing that, but. That is good for us. That is going to make a difference and allow us to earn a bit more money and save a bit on the lime, which is going to be very, very good. Based on how things have gone so far on these first 2 fields today, I think we might actually end up with a full stone picker worth of stones, which would be great. I mean, it holds around 2,000 litres, I think, just over, and yeah, that is going to be great. That would be 8,000 litres of lime that we'd get off here, and would work absolutely wonderfully well for us. We'd be able to put most of that, actually, I think most of that would end up on the fields. And then the rest would then be able to be sold, which is, yeah, absolutely fantastic. Would make a big difference to our income on here, and gives us a whole lot better setup going forwards. Opening this up like this is making things a lot easier for me in picking up these stones. But only up to 55%. I think we need to be somewhere in the vicinity of about 66, maybe 2/3 of the way through, in order to be in a position where we should have a full thing of lime today. So yeah, let's see how we do as we finish off this field. And we're up to 66% before we even touch the last bit of field here. It is at, yeah, we're at 66%. I'm not gonna cut through the middle on here. What we're gonna do is go around the edges. So the other way of doing this on here, and see if we can get more. Are we gonna hit 70-75%? It's been climbing steadily the whole way through this job, and to get as high as sort of 75% might mean we actually have more than a picker's worth of stone, which would be even better. That would yeah, that would make me even happier to have that much stone on here, even though we would need to go, of course, go back to the farm, empty it out, and come back down to the field. But it's just more money and more lime, both of which are things that we very much need on our farm on here. Can't believe that I've done so much with just a single plot of land on here. See, now so many other people playing on this map, and they've got 4 or 5 plots of land, and I'm just happy pottering around my my single plot with 4 fields and sort of planning and going into the new year, and it's working out well, and Our farm is nicely growing. And yeah, I do want to get the loan paid off as soon as I can, because that just is going to make life so much better if I can do that. But we need to get the farm set up and the farm working fully first. So there is that. And look at this, we are at 71%. 75% might very much be a target we hit here. Final row here on the field, and yeah, we've passed 75%. We're actually up to 77% before we finish the field. And I've just had a thought, actually, about this tractor and why it might be struggling a little bit more on the hills here. And that is because it needs a good repair. Have a look in here. We can go and have a look at our equipment, and yeah, the new no, it's not a New Holland, is it? It's a maybe it's actually the Degelman. The Degelman's at 94. There we go. No, our Massey Ferguson is at 33%. It needs it needs some repairs, which is one of the things I'm planning to do as soon as we get some money in. See if we can put a workshop in on our farm and get our little Massey repaired, because it's got 11 hours on it now, and it's done a stellar job, but it is in need of a little bit of TLC after a hard first few months on here, being our only tractor that's doing any work. Now, when we ploughed this field, we ploughed it at a 260/80 degree angle. So we're going to try and do that again at the bottom here. It means we won't be quite going the way of the plough furrows, but the plough furrows, unfortunately, are not MTA. So we want 260 degrees. There we go. And across the field at this angle. This is going to be hard for this first bit, because the plough furrows going across them a little bit is going to make us go off course. So we want to make sure that we adjust it a lot as we're going across here. Make sure that we're not making a squiggly line, and that should do the trick. If I pop out of cab now, yeah, you can see here we've got a nice straight line across the field, and we can just open this up, and then that makes life easier for us overall. And when we get to the top of the field, it actually means that little bit that dips in from the woodland causes us less of a problem, because we're already going at this angle. It looks like our timing is going to be pretty good. We've just had snow appear on the weather forecast. So the snow is going to fall just when we're finishing getting the rest of these stones up, which is absolutely perfect. Couldn't be happier about that. And means that they won't get hidden under the snow and stop us from doing this job, which is brilliant. We are up to 90% full, but we don't have a massive number of stones left on this field. Whether we hit a full stone picker, I don't know, but we'll see as we get closer and closer. At the moment, though, it's not going up very quickly. Not like it was on the last field. The last field seemed to have a lot more stones than this one does. I'm wondering if there's something underlying that we're going to find in precision farming eventually, to do with this and with how many stones turn up. I don't know. I suppose it's not built into this map because this is not a base game map. So yeah, that would require some thought ahead of time. So yeah, I think maybe not. But I would love to see the different types of land produce different levels of stone when precision farming comes out. That, I think, would be absolutely fantastic. Coming up to the top end of the field, and yeah, we're 94% full now. We've got one more strip down the bottom, and then I need to try and work out how I'm going to do this slightly oddly shaped bit at the top. Oh, I do have access to this land. This is my field. But we are going to be very, very close to a full load of stones off this field, which will be absolutely fantastic. Yeah, 2,250. It must be something like that, because we have a very nice number of stones. Downside to this, of course, being a little bit underpowered for this, is as this gets more full, getting up the hill with the little tractor and the pickup is becoming harder and harder. So just trying to get past that issue is good fun at the moment. But we're going to switch things around now and cut in from this way. I'm going to try and go down the middle. Yeah, there's not a massive amount here. So at 80 there-ish. Yep. And in. Don't think it's a very wide strip we're leaving, but that's okay. Again, running across this. Wow, that isn't a very wide strip at all. In fact, I'm not sure there is a strip for part of that. Oh well, that's okay. It is an odd shaped bit of field, so it makes it that little bit more difficult to work properly. But yeah, 95% full, 2,200 litres is not to be sniffed at all. Make sure we avoid the trees, bring this in here, and yeah, it's a little bit of a weird setup. What I'm going to do, actually, bring that across there, back it up, and then do that thin strip all the way back along here, like so. Perfect. So yeah, that's worked out fairly well. We've got the sun setting again. It's taken us all day to do these 3 fields again. Not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all. I'm very, very happy with how it's gone. We need to get... In fact, we don't need to do anything now. This is the last thing we need to do to get our fields ready for next year and for the planting season. We have got the lime to do, admittedly, but that is not going to be a big job. That is going to be something we can do once we've got our lime production up and running, which is going to be about, yeah, it's going to be mid to late February that we get that up, and then that leads into March. We'll get the grass field limed first, so our first lime will go to that, and then when we go to plant the sorghum in there we go, in April, I think. Is the sorghum April? Yes, April. So yeah, we've got time to prepare these 2 fields and generate ourselves some stuff, so we're all good there. But these three fields are prepared as much as we can prepare them now. We need to head back to the farm with this, get this tipped. Did I fold that in? Because that looks like it's, yeah, that is folded in. Wow, that still sticks really wide out to the right, even when you've got it folded in. But yeah, so we need to have a little bit more width on the roads here. And yeah, the next thing we got is to sell these bales, make some money off the silage, and hopefully then we'll be in a really good place. Where did I put these stones last time? Ah, there we are. And hopefully we'll be able to get a house fairly soon after that, because we're going to have the wonderful howling sound in the next 10 minutes. And that is, yeah, always freaks me out, especially while I still have the campsite here. We have a little house that we're looking to build, and we can do that then. Right, let's tip this out here. There we go. Still not 100% sure where I'm going to put my my piece of kit to do this. I will have to work it out. Maybe the other side of this block or something like that. But we'll work that out. Oh, man. Right. Back this up. Park it up. Into here. Like so. And get this back over with our car. I do love the surrounding trees we've got here. Soon this will have its own shed. There we go. Ah, and we got snow on the way, so it's going to be a cold night in our shed tonight. But we're going to leave this here for today. So I am really, really pleased. This little Massey continues to perform really well. Is doing a fantastic job for us. We've got all of the stones off that field, off those fields, which is great. The snow can now fall, and we are going to jump forward a few days and head into February, which is where we will pick things up next time. For now, though, I'm going to leave this here. So all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. And for all the latest videos from Virtual Farmer, please subscribe to the channel, ring that bell, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.